Massachusetts liberal is laying the groundwork for a run in 2020. And she, along with many of her liberal friends on the left, are preaching pie-in-the-sky ideals like, well, Medicare for all. But as the saying goes, that's not playing in Peoria. Joining me now is Fox News contributor Jimmy Green and Republican strategist Justin Wallin. Jimmy, I want to start with you, though. Warren running in 2020. What do you think?
She said today that she wasn't. I think that it's great that she is continuing to push ideas that are going to challenge the Democratic Party and challenge what is going to be a very significant bench of candidates in 2020. And look, we all agree that government is corrupt, right? We're facing, like she said, the most nakedly corrupt leadership in Washington that we've ever seen.
I don't know about the leadership, but I don't know about the leadership currently, but I will say the swamp has been a pretty big term that we've heard. Yes, Jimmy, over the last several years when it comes to Washington in general. And I'm being nonpartisan when I say that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, she also was clear to say this did not start with Donald Trump. In fact, it started 30 years ago when President Reagan was very specific and aggressive in attacking government as being a part of the solution. And Republicans have been pushing that message. So on one hand, they've pushed that message, but on the other hand, they've passed laws that have allowed corporations to basically buy off our legislators. And that corruption is what Donald Trump and his administration are taking advantage of in a way that I don't think anyone ever could have imagined.
I don't know about taking advantage.
Now is the time for this bill.
I don't know about taking advantage, Jimmy, just because the fact is lobbying has been around since, buttered bread. But at the same time, Justin, the point about corruption can be certainly made that, you always want to make sure that the American people's interests are taken care of. Mr. Trump says that is what he's doing, whether it comes to with regulations or different economies or tariffs. I mean, there's another side of it. But with Warren, what I think is interesting is that she and these other prominent Democrats are really grabbing onto whether it's education or health care as their platforms for the midterms. And I'm wondering, as you on the Republican side of the strategist would either welcome that or you'd fight against it.
Well, with healthcare is clearly a big issue. It's one of the leading dinner table conversations. It's kind of an unaided awareness concern that's emerged as one of the top throughout America, and it's often one of the top three issues that voters want Congress to prioritize. But specifically, the concept of Medicare for all, that has mixed response. That's not a winning issue, even in progressive California, where you'd think this sort of thing would have the best chance of success. It's receiving a tepid at best response, and when the costs of such a system are introduced, it rapidly swings to supermajority opposition. So I think what we have here, for Republicans, this is a positive if Democratic candidates continue to position their health care debate in this frame. Because clearly, even Democratic voters view Medicare for all with a degree of suspicion.
I want to jump in, and not to be rude, but, I actually have a poll that I wanted to show you in Jammu because it's exactly what you're saying. It's only 16%, Jammu, of Democrats say that single-payer health plan is a top priority in their vote, Jammu. What do you make of that?
Well, do you know, Cheryl, who does support Medicare for all? Young people. Those young people who were in many ways the non-voters in 2016 that let the Hillary Clinton campaign down or the Hillary Clinton campaign didn't connect with. And so, yes, these 2020 contenders are going to be finding ways of connecting with those young people. And yes, when you're young, you're a little bit more idealistic about everyone should have health care. Health care is a right.
And free college and free beer.
Bankrupt because you can't afford your medical bills.
That's
look,
a good thing. It all sounds good. It's an interesting. You're right, though. Look at what happened here in New York with that Democratic House seat that went to that very young and woman who is basically a socialist within the Democratic Party. It is a fascinating. It's going to be fascinating in November. Jammu and Justin, we know we'll have you back for that. It was great to have you both here with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Free beer for all. All right, coming up.